What if you could take a whole day's worth of video and see everything important that happened in just 1 minute? And I don't mean a highlight reel. I mean everything, all at once. Today, we're going to break down some incredible research that teaches computers to do exactly that, to literally rewrite time inside a video.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You're scrubbing through hours of security footage or maybe a nature cam, and 99% of it is, well, it's just nothing. You're hunting for that one little moment of action, and it seriously feels like looking for a needle in a digital haystack.
I mean, just look at the difference. On the left, you've got your standard, empty-looking frame from hours of footage. But on the right, that's the synopsis. All of a sudden, the same space is filled with people who were never ever there at the same time. This is the promise, right here, squishing an hour of life down into one single, action-packed minute.
So let's actually put a name to this problem. The researchers call it spatio-temporal redundancies. Now I know, that sounds super technical, but it's a fancy way of saying something really simple. In most videos, big chunks of the screen and long stretches of time are just empty background, waiting for something to happen.
So, how do we usually deal with this? Well, most video summary tools basically act like a ruthless editor. They find all the quiet moments and just chop them out, stitching together whatever's left. And yeah, it makes the video shorter, for sure, but you're still watching things in the exact order they happened, one after the other. And this is where the big, kind of mind-bending idea comes in. What if we just stopped thinking about time as this straight line that we can only snip pieces out of? What if we could actually take events out of their original time and, I don't know, reschedule them?
And that's the absolute heart of it. A dynamic video synopsis creates a totally new video where the background stays put, but all the interesting stuff that happened over hours gets layered right on top of each other, all playing out at the same time. It's not just a summary, it's more like a time collage.
Take a look at this diagram. That bottom half shows the original video's timeline, right? You see those little activity strips scattered all over the place? The AI goes in, finds those strips, basically cuts them out, and then pastes them all together into that much shorter, much denser period you see in the top half.
So, how on earth do you teach a computer to play with time like this? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a really clever two-step process.
Okay, so first things first, the system has to figure out what action even is. It does this by creating a clean image of the background. You know, the floor, the walls, anything that stays the same. Then it just flags any pixel that changes from that background as activity. So if a person walks by, bam, that's a whole bunch of changing pixels.
Now, once it knows where the activity is, the researchers came up with two ways to rearrange it. The low-level way just kind of shuffles the active pixels around to pack in the most action. But the object-based approach, it's way smarter. It actually identifies whole objects, like that's a person or that's a car, and then it moves the entire video clip of that object through time. This keeps everything whole and makes the motion look perfectly smooth, so you don't get that choppy, weird, disjointed feeling.
All right, that's enough of the theory. Let's get to the results, because this is where the technology really comes alive. This is where you see just how powerful this whole idea of rewriting time can actually be.
One of the absolute coolest things this system can do is create what's called a stroboscopic effect. You know those classic photos where you see a golfer's swing all captured in a bunch of frozen poses at once? Well, this is the video version of that. You see an object's entire journey happening all at once.
So instead of a 10-second video of a kid crossing the monkey bars, you get this. 3 different moments of that journey, the beginning, the middle, and the end, all right there in the same frame, all moving together. The entire action gets compressed into a single dynamic instant. It's wild.
And look at this. On the left, you've got 3 people at a water cooler at 3 totally different times. You know, standard, boring office footage. But on the right, in the synopsis, they're all there at once. The AI has basically rewritten the afternoon so that everyone's coffee break happens in the same 15 seconds.
So, yeah, rewriting an afternoon at the office is one thing, but this is so much more than just a cool visual trick. This ability to manipulate and condense video time has some really profound, real-world applications that could completely change how we interact with recorded info.
I mean, surveillance is the most obvious one, right? A security guard could review 8 hours of footage in 5 minutes. But it also creates this amazing new kind of table of contents for video. You could just click on a person in a synopsis and instantly jump to their actual footage in the original file. And beyond that, you're opening up whole new worlds for things like panoramic video and even new kinds of digital art.
I absolutely love this quote from the researchers, because it just gets right to the philosophical heart of what they built. They're saying we should stop organizing video by time and start organizing it by activity. In this new space of activities, the only thing that matters is what happened, not when it happened.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought to chew on. We depend on video to be this objective record of the past, right? But if we start watching these summaries where time is all jumbled up and events are reordered, is that going to change our own perception, our own memory of how those events really unfolded? It's a powerful new way to see the world, and it's going to be really interesting to see how we adapt to it.